So if you think that your private chats with AI are staying between you and the machine, you are not just wrong, you're the most valuable part of the business model. Did you know that a 2026 Stanford study found that over 100% of top AI giants are using your conversations to train their models by default? We're talking about 28 different privacy documents analyzed across Amazon, Google, and OpenAI, and the results are pretty interesting. How would you feel knowing that a simple question like about a heart-healthy dinner could end up in an insurance database, raising your premiums because an algorithm inferred that you have a medical condition? So is the convenience of a chatbot worth the permanent loss of your intellectual property and personal secrets? This sounds kind of dystopian, but let's dive into this today because I think you're going to find this a little interesting. Welcome to Startup Pack. I'm Spencer, and here at Startup Pack, we love to build custom software solutions for companies. With a decade of executive leadership as a fractional CTO and 25 years in software development, I've mastered transforming tech teams and products. All right, so the reality of AI today is a situation where we're in the data vacuum era. Anthropic is out here complaining that China is stealing their data through distillation attacks, which is pretty rich considering that they built these models by scraping the entire internet in the first place. So the irony is thick, but the lesson for you is super simple. Nothing you put into you type into a prompt is safe. We've reached a point where public trust in AI is at an all-time low, and it's for a good reason, because we dive into these points today, and I'm going to show you how the data heist is happening. And not only are they just stealing it, but then the next people are stealing it, and then the next people. So like, this is literally the definition of gossip getting passed around. Now, the biggest favor you can do for me is if you like the videos, leave a comment down below. Let me know your thoughts about this. I'm curious to hear what you guys are putting in. Are you guys just casting caution to the wind? Are you like even not using AI because of it? Like, I want to hear your thoughts, and it's my favorite thing, best compliment. So leave a comment down below. Now, I want to dive into some of these because a recent research from Stanford AI confirms that every single major AI player from Microsoft to Meta automatically feeds your chat history back into their training loops. So they don't ask for your permission in a meaningful way. They just bury the consent in pages of dense legal jargon. So in my years of software development, I've seen plenty of shady terms, but training by default on sensitive corporate data is a whole new level of risk. So this means your proprietary code, your legal strategies, and your private thoughts are becoming the curriculum for future versions of these models. You aren't the customer in this scenario. You are the raw material being mined for the next multi-billion-dollar update. So unless you're using an enterprise-grade API, and even some of those hold like some pretty interesting terms there, assume that every single word you're talking to is being recorded for posterity. So let's dive into this report, what we've got here for you today. So very first thing here is Anthropic recently came out and said, detecting and preventing distillation attacks. And I love how they make this an attack, right? Because, you know, they didn't do this, right? We've identified industrial scale campaigns by 3 AI laboratories, DeepSeek, Moonshot, and Minimax, to illicitly extract Claude's capabilities to improve their own models. These labs generated over 16 million exchanges with Claude through approximately 24 fraudulent accounts in violation of our terms and services and regional access restrictions. Now, the interesting thing about this is that, like, Anthropic has already been settling multi-billion-dollar lawsuits that have been coming against it, with large class action lawsuits and still more coming over all of the data theft that they've done through the years. So this is pretty rich that now they're like, hey, somebody else is stealing our data because they're not following. So this is kind of interesting, but the next part about this is that if you go and find, you can actually find that not only then is Anthropic using your data, but now DeepSeek, Moonshot, and Minimax are also stealing your data from them to use in their training models. So if you really think you didn't give Anthropic consent, you probably definitely didn't give DeepSeek, Moonshot, and Minimax consent, which goes to show that once you let this secret out of the bag, once you put that information in there, it's out on the web for forever. Good luck on keeping that private. Here's the research from Stanford, right? A Stanford study reveals that leading AI companies are pulling user conversations for training, highlighting privacy risks and a need for clearer policies. Last month, Anthropic made a quiet change to its terms of services for customers. Conversations you have with AI chatbot Claude will be used for training in large language model by default unless you opt out. Now, given this trend, should users of AI-powered chat systems worry about their privacy? Absolutely yes, says the study's lead author. If you share sensitive information in a dialogue with ChatGPT, Gemini, or other frontier models, it may be collected and used for training, even if it's in a separate file than you uploaded during the conversation. So the teams at Stanford Scholars examined AI developers' privacy policies and identified several causes for concern. Now, again, they're not hiding this, they're hiding it in plain sight. And they go through and show how all of these are either specified or not. But really, here at the end, across the board, the Stanford scholars observed that developers' privacy policies lack essential information about their practices. They recommend policymakers and developers address privacy challenges posed by LLM powered chatbots through comprehensive federal privacy regulations. As a society, we need to weigh whether the potential gains of AI capabilities from training on chat data are worth the considerable loss of consumer privacy. Now, this has been true dating for a long time back, right? And I'm guilty of it too, right? I've been using Google since Google was here, and I knew it was reading my emails, right? And so we've all become accustomed to this at a layer that I think has become new. And with AI, we're just pumping more and more of that really personal conversations back into it. But now we're not even finding that it's just even staying in those systems; it's actually being repeated on and on and on. And even the enterprise policies on these are pretty thin. So let's keep going here and look a little bit deeper at this, right? They talked about hundreds of million people now regularly interact with large language models via chatbots. Model developers are eager to acquire new sources of high quality training data, right? That's why they do this. They race to improve model capabilities and win market share. This paper analyzes the privacy policy of 6 major U.S. frontier models, right? And then really we conclude by providing recommendations to policymakers and developers to address the privacy changes posed by LLM powered chats. Now, since it's been released, not anything has changed. So this is not anything really super new. And again, we've been kind of slowly losing our privacy over a lot of years. And again, guilty of it. I use social media, I do different things, and you know that they're stealing that data to be training everything on. Now, let's talk about this one. Lack of public trust could kill AI. Now, I think that's a definitely not what we've seen here. So I think I'm going to have to disagree with the author just slightly right off the bat. But over the past few weeks, it's become clear that AI faces a significant public trust problem, which might lead to a slower decrease of adoption. For some companies, this could be fatal. Now, I'm curious to hear what she says here because, again, having documented the generative AI wave for over 3 years, I've been paying attention to minor and major AI hype ripples. I can say the past few weeks have made it clear that despite ongoing technological advances, AI faces significant public trust problems stemming from unresolved legal, ethical, and philosophical issues. In a year where the field must prove once and for all that it's not a bubble and can drive meaningful economic growth, lack of public trust, decreased adoption could be fatal for some companies. Now, that's kind of the interesting thing, and I think what she's definitely implying towards here is towards OpenAI, because they're definitely one of the largest free user bases anywhere in the world. And she goes through a lot of different pieces here, but really at the end here, I want to kind of say, last but not least, part of all the public trust problems might be the recent data shows that immense hype around AI has not yet been translated into economic growth, even after 3 years. It's still unclear whether it ever will. That's one of the biggest things right now is people are seeing all of the uses of AI and they're seeing that it's a lot fun for a lot of things, can generate some videos. But at the end of the day, a lot of people are really frustrated with the AI hype, the AI slop, right? And that's what a lot of people really get into. So the Stanford audit revealed that several of these companies retain your conversation indefinitely. And so the thing about that is with no expiration date on your data, this is going to continue to show more and more. And as more of these breaches happen and as more of them start to steal data from each other, authors are finding that works that were scraped by one can also be scraped by the next, but then it's even modified as it goes across. So if you wouldn't want it printed on a billboard in 5 years, you probably shouldn't be typing it into a standard AI chat interface today, because many users don't even realize that human employees at these AI firms are often paid to read your actual transcripts to improve the models. So we aren't talking about anonymized snippets. They're looking at real conversations down to the wire. So if you're giving it all of your medical history, somebody is reading that, right? Imagine a stranger sitting in a cubicle reading your relationship advice queries on your sensitive financial planning. And that is the reality of what we're seeing here. The black box of AI is actually much more human monitored than the marketing material would ever lead you to believe. Every conversation is being read by anywhere from 1 to up to 12 people. And if you don't think it's being shared, try again. So privacy isn't just a tech feature. It's a fundamental thing that all of us should be concerned about. The biggest danger lies with companies like Google and Amazon who run search engines, stores, and AI models simultaneously. Your AI conversations aren't staying in a silo. They're being merged with search history, purchase data, and social media activity. This allows the system to build a 360-degree profile of you that is more accurate and invasive than anything we've seen ever in history. This level of systematic profiling makes the old school cookies of 2010 looks like absolute child's play. Now, that's one of the reasons here at Startup Hack we're building out a lot of software tools. You can see these servers over here because we're building out servers for our clients so that this data is not getting pumped into the cloud. So we work with clients who have sensitive data and we build out customized AI solutions so that their data remains safe and secure. That's also part of the reason we're launching tools like CorpTrainer AI. It's a great tool that's built and you upload and create training materials for your company, and all of that data stays on your own server and never touches the cloud. This is our promise. It also comes with unlimited AI use because you're working against your own server, right? So you're not trying to share that H100 out with somebody else. So this is a lot of the stuff that we're doing here at Startup Hack because we believe that privacy is going to become one of the most important things. And we're not seeing that right now, right? Anthropic's recent claims about this distillation attack, right, prove that even AI creators are terrified of their data being used by the competitors. Distillation is basically where one AI model learns from the output of the other, a better AI model, essentially stealing the intelligence without the original cost. So it's funny to watch these giants cry thief when their entire industry was built on scraping public data without any permissions. So we are entering the era of data cannibalism, where the only way to win is to stop feeding the beast your sensitive info. So that's why here at Startup Hack, again, we're trying to make it possible so that everybody can have AI tools for their industry, and we're about to launch a second tool, which is going to be amazing. But again, you got to check out CorpTrainer because if you have any type of corporate documents, it's a great tool that we're launching for companies to be able to create a company brain, right? So they have like an AI brain built on their data in a secure way. So the big opportunity for 2026 is privacy native AI, tools that run on one device and can help you to keep your information secure and safe. So the winners of the next AI wave won't be the ones with the most data, but the ones who can be trusted the most with the data. Now, curious to hear what you guys think. Do you agree? Do you disagree? I love to have a great conversation, so make sure you leave a comment down below. Make sure you like and subscribe. Here at Startup Hack, we love to build custom software solutions for companies, and we love to launch even some of our own brands, so here's some great information about CorpTrainer AI. Think about the last time you had to learn something new at work. You probably had to read a giant, boring pile of papers or watch a video from 10 years ago. And if you had a question, well, you had to wait hours for an email back from an expert or figure things out yourself. Some people try to use public AI tools to help, but that's dangerous. It's like posting your company's diary on the internet for everybody to see. That's why we built CorpTrainer AI. CorpTrainer AI is like a private brain for your company. You feed it your manuals, your videos, and your rules. Then it becomes a super teacher. If an employee is confused, they don't have to search through 100-page PDF. They just type a question like they're texting a friend, and the AI tells them the answers instantly. It even shows them exactly where it found the info so they can know if it's true. It makes training feel less like a chore and more like a conversation, and it's a lot of fun. So here's how it works. You build your course one at a time. You can use video, upload the content, and create quizzes to test the students' understandings, all with a simple to use, easy, and intuitive interface. Our specialized agent trains on your company's data, but don't worry, we aren't sharing or using your data anywhere else. Just upload it, and within minutes, the specialized AI is completely trained on your company's data. Your video in the course streamed back in high quality, just like YouTube. But the best part is the learning doesn't stop when the course ends. Your employees keeps that AI tutor with them when they go back to work, so they can continue to ask questions while they're actively doing their work. They can chat on a specific course or topic, or they can chat across all of your company's uploaded material. It's like an oracle trained on your company's data, and it's all secure. It never touches the public cloud or leaves our servers. For corporate trainers, it provides detailed reports on where each student is at in the learning. This allows easy management and tracking of learning. Easy to manage roles and permissions makes it simple for anyone to use. But our amazing support is available all business hours, making sure everything runs perfectly. It's secure, it's fast, and it stays outside of public clouds. CorpTrainer AI is like a private brain for your company that anyone can access anytime. This will make the training and learning process simpler for both the trainer and the learner. Get your company learning today with CorpTrainer AI, the smartest member